So the topic I have chosen is the Triassic extinction. It is also referred to as the Triassic Jurassic extinction. And this was a global extinction that occurred at the end of the Triassic period, hence the name, the Triassic extinction. So this goes back about 250 million years ago to 200 million years ago. And this extinction actually took out about 75% of all marine life that existed. And it also took out about 20% of all taxonomic families. Marine reptiles, ammonoids, gastropods, and brachiopods were the main types of marine life that were affected during the Triassic extinction. This extinction actually opened a door for one type of animal, which were the dinosaurs. This allowed them to basically assume the dominant role in the Jurassic period. So it gave them the head up on everyone else. So moving on to the plate tectonic setup, the beginning of the Triassic period, the tectonic setup is much different than the end. At the beginning, the supercontinent Pangaea was intact, and about midway through the Triassic period, Pangaea began to break apart, forming South America, Africa, India, Antarctica, and Australia. All these continents were southern, and then on the northern side you had North America and Eurasia. So the reason Pangaea was broken up was due to the seafloor spreading at the mid-ocean ridge. And while Pangaea was breaking up, mountains were forming on the western side of North America due to all the plate movement underneath. So towards the end of the period, North Africa was being split apart from Europe, which eventually the spreading of the rift split apart the eastern North America and North Africa. So moving on to plants and insects, these plants and insects were not really impacted by the Triassic extinction. And a fun fact, the first mammals that actually evolved, they were evolved near the end of the Triassic period, and these animals were very small. They wouldn't be more than a couple inches in length. They wouldn't be any longer than that. So, moving on to what most scientists believed the reason for the Triassic extinction. So most scientists actually believe that the climate change and the rising of sea levels resulted in a sudden release of large amounts of carbon dioxide, killing off everything that basically couldn't withstand it. So the carbon dioxide was being released through volcanoes, and this release of carbon dioxide had a big effect on Pangaea being separated into the continents we know and reside on today. Modern scientists are still studying this event to this day and are learning more and more about it, but what they already know is that from examining the region's flood basalts, which were created by the rifting, this revealed that the rocks that were made up about 600,000 plus years ago, the volcanic activity actually occurred at the end of the Triassic period. Others believe that the heating was caused by the rising of CO2 in the atmosphere, which could have equated to the large amounts of methane that ended up trapping under the sea ice, which they believe caused the Earth's atmosphere to warm up significantly, and some believe the extinction occurred by large amounts of asteroids, that it wasn't just one extinction, it was a bunch of small extinctions over the period of time. Another fun fact that I thought I'd throw in was that 90% of all organisms that have ever lived on Earth are extinct. And this is unreal to think that the large number of species that we have living today, that there could be 9 times the number of organisms that we currently have now. So that's just hard to believe. So basically what I have concluded from reading about all extinctions and basically where we're standing as a human race, we're going to need, in my personal opinion, I think we're going to need to come up with something technologically advanced to prevent our planet from climate changing enough to where it could affect us as a human race. Personally, as a country, I don't think we need to focus on global warming, which is still not sure if it's a real thing or not. But the reason we shouldn't stop is because other countries like China, who is the leader in pollution, they're not going to stop. So we as a world need to come together and figure out what we can do as a human race to basically extend our lives to a longer period, which is what scientists are obviously trying to prevent right now. No one really knows exactly when our lifetime is going to come to an end, but it shouldn't be anytime soon. And in the end, extinction puts an end to most species, but it also fuels the existence of some, like the example of the dinosaurs and how the dinosaurs thrived at the end of the Triassic extinction, basically giving them the head up on all the other animals. So hopefully some extinction will come to the point where we as humans, as we are now, on top of everything, and we can maintain our hold of the top throne on planet Earth.